What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. It is the 7th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $2.04 with 7 hours and 20 minutes left in the day. We also have 7 hours and 20 minutes left in this week as well. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are with a bit of a lower price today, this week, than we had on 2 weeks ago's low close here. I think a good goal over the next 7 hours and 20 minutes is to just pull up a little bit, get this week to close above this line. I think it would look better, and who cares what I think, but I think it would look better to have a higher weekly close than a lower weekly close. But whatever, if we close here, that doesn't mean XRP's in the depths, right? It could. I don't think it does. It would just look better if we closed above. That's all I'm trying to say. So a good little goal for fun here. You know, let's imagine that you're watching your favorite sports team. They're tied. It's the very last 10 minutes of the game or something like that. You want to see somebody score. This is your home team scoring. If we can get above the white line there. I was very vague about that analogy too, because that way it applies to all sports. Doesn't matter if you're thinking about football, American football, tennis, whatever it might be. I guess tennis, there's no time, is there? Anyways, so maybe it doesn't apply. I shouldn't have thrown the time in there. See, that takes away from anything like ping pong or tennis or baseball. Anyways, 7 hours, 19 minutes left in this week. A close here is fine, but we'd rather close above 2 weeks ago's closing low. Let's look at the short-term stuff. We'll get into it from there, and then we'll zoom out, okay? Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, we had a massive sell-off a couple hours ago. We did have a nice little sell-off. We broke out. A lot of volume came in, and then the very next hour we gave it back. This is a textbook example of what is known as a fake out. That's exactly what this is. Fake out, moving down fast and loud, a lot of volume, and then boom, then you gave it back. You bullishly engulfed. All the people here who at the end of this hour, at the beginning of this hour, all thought, oh, I'm super smart. We just broke out. I'm going to go short. Of course I'll make money. Well, they're all in the red now. They're all in the red now, and likely they're not going to be in their short positions for too much longer, because we're probably going to clear those out. I mean, it's clear what happened here, right? We did a fake out to the upside. We did a fake out to the downside. We're probably going to move up. We probably do move up from here. That was a lot of volume, and the fact that we just gave that back instantly with a vengeance tells me that was a fake out. We're probably going to move higher. That was just a shakeout right before we actually do pump, and we see that happen quite often. You know, here, for example, you had a little shakeout before you pumped, right? Here, you had a little pump before you dumped, right? Double bottom right here as well, finding support there. That's nice to see. You got a lot of volume. You didn't go anywhere, so of course you had a very positive reaction here. Looking at the 1 hour indicators, the RSI is bouncing off the oversold zone. The stochastics look bullish, and the MACD. The MACD is kind of neutral, but so is the price action, so that's fine. 4 hour time frame here. The RSI is bearish at the moment, technically. You do have higher lows though, and you are neutral but bearish at the moment. What I do like is that we found resistance at the 50 and found support at the 40. It's not good to find resistance at the 50, but if you find support at the 40, that sets you up to move higher typically. So here I'm kind of looking at this RSI almost as if we're in this kind of wonky W shape. I do expect it will continue to levels that are higher than this. We'll probably get into this overbought zone. Maybe not today, but tomorrow or the next day, right? Soon enough, we should be moving up higher. I really wouldn't be surprised at all if XRP, you know, maybe Monday, maybe tomorrow, maybe we do move down a little bit. Who knows? But regardless if we move down a little bit, regardless if we move sideways, soon enough, I really wouldn't be surprised at all if we were taking out these targets here, taking out these highs, and probably pushing on to that 260, 280 area up there. That's kind of the next zone that we're looking for. 295 even, somewhere up to there. 4 hour RSI, kind of bearish at the moment, but there are some bullish implications here with this 40 bounce. I would really like it. We have 3 hours and 17 minutes left. I'd really like it if this 4 hour candle could close green. If it closes green, we're not rejecting here. We're actually moving up, and that'd be nice. That'd continue this bounce off the 40. So a good goal to have in the short term too is this 4 hour candle. By the time you watch this video, this 16th hour of the day, notice the time frame down here. It's the 16th hour on the 4 hour time frame. If this can close green, that's good. I think that's good, and I think it will close green. The 1 hour suggests it will. The MACD is just crossing green, which is also kind of nice in itself right here. Higher lows, crossing green, suggesting that we probably do move up, and the stochastics technically are bullish at the moment as well. Daily time frame, looking at this, the RSI is very neutral, very neutral, but with a bearish tilt to it, obviously, right? We are lower highs, right? We are living below the 50. Yes, we have higher lows, but still lower highs and living below the 50. That's typically bearish environments here. But we're at this kind of building point. It almost reminds me of Bitcoin Cash, just differently built right here. If we're looking at this BCH USD, you'll see what I'm talking about. Bitcoin Cash here. Right? You see it? It's similar, just it's in a different area. But higher lows, lower highs right there, right? It's very similar. It's not quite the same, obviously, but and not in the same exact jurisdictions of this RSI, but still very similar. I think you're going to get a breakout pretty soon, and I would assume that you do break out to the upside. And when you break out of a range like this, you're probably going to get a reading like this. The corresponsive move with that, you know, it was something glorious like this. I really wouldn't be surprised at all. Wow. Thinking of it like that once we break above this level of 231, man, we probably do just rally all the way up to $3. I mean, we were literally at this exact same price last time. We're very coiled up in our RSI. We're actually at the same kind of areas, and when we break out, I would assume we get into the overbought zone. We might, who knows? I don't think, like here we ran all the way up to our all-time high level, $2.60-something. I don't know if we're going to do that, but I really wouldn't be surprised if we did push at least here to like 270. If not, maybe somewhere between there and $3.16. This next move, actually, we might not have been bullish enough on it, honestly. I think this next move actually might take us to $3 or higher. Typically, in a bullish situation, it's... I don't want to say this because I don't want to lead people the wrong way. Typically, in a bullish situation, if you're breaking back into a range, right? Here's your prior range right here, okay? Typically, you don't stop at the support. Typically, right? This is what you do in a bearish situation. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to see a lower low. Of course, you can find resistance here and then find a higher low and then come back up and break through it. Of course, you can. But in a bullish situation, you wouldn't find resistance at the areas here. You'd find resistance at these areas here, at the resistance points from the top. You'd break through the range and actually find resistance where you found resistance before, not where you found support before. Does that make sense? So if this move, and we are set up in a very bullish way, could it be that we do actually push up to this $3.10, $3.20 area? I think we could. And we could see it happen over the next 7 days, moving up just like this. You know what I mean? Over the next 10 days, moving up just like this. I feel like right now, we're literally, and it's not just the price area, but we are in the same kind of environment that we were back here right before this move. And I'm not saying that we're going to push from here all the way up to our all-time highs, but certainly something in this area here. I'm thinking the top end rather than the lower end. But anything from $2.70 to $3.20 is fair game. I don't have anything else that I want to say. I've said everything that I need to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit the like button, please. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. The stochastics are reset. We're back at the oversold zone. It's a perfect area to bounce. The MACD is bearish. Overall, it's bearish, but we're actually at a point to bounce here with the MACD as well. You know, we let's see if I can find an example of this. We got to go way, way, way back, probably. Kind of like that. I can't. I'm finding more. There we go. Kind of an example like this where you're bouncing, right? You're bearish overall because you're below here, but you're bouncing. That was actually a very good signal to buy. We're actually at the same kind of zone here where the tips are touching. We're right at a point where it actually would make sense to bounce if we're trending higher. And I think that we will trend higher, but time will tell. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. The expectation is and has been for a century now that our XRP, whenever it breaks out, whenever we see this phase break, we will move up rapidly to a $13 to $17 price, somewhere up there. Okay, we break out once we see weekly closes above $3.45. Until then, we're in limbo. I do think from here, $2.04, that over this next week or two, we will push to prices that are above $3. That's my guess. Over this next week or two, by Christmas, we should be at $3 or more. Hit the like button. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.